Serving both residential and commercial backgrounds, one-time Florida office is located at 509 South Lehigh Highway, and their number is 928-267-3411.
And a big thank you to One Time Plumber for sponsoring our KRIM Community Spotlight program. Good morning, Rim Country. Chris Higgins in the studio. Hope you're having a great Friday. That's right, happy Friday to everyone listening and watching on our KRIM radio, Facebook live stream. Well, today is our Longhorn Spotlight program, and we're going to be talking girls soccer. That's right, our PHS girls soccer team have Coach Clough in the studio. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning, Chris.
And one of his star players, Jules. How you doing, Jules?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good. And you're excited to be here, right?
Very.
Very. I like it. There it is. She's like, it's Friday, dude. Come on. I'm like off from school, and thank you so much for coming in and to talk soccer. And it's going to be well. You guys had a great season, didn't you?
It was a really good season.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best finishes we've had, or Payson High School's had in a really, really long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what it was? Your record was it?
We
3 losses, like.
if you count tournaments, 3 losses.
Yeah.
If you just go with league play, we had 1 loss, 1 draw, and 1 draw, 2
Mm-hmm.
losses, and the rest were wins. I know our record.
Gotcha. And there was a tough division. There were some tough teams in your division, weren't there?
We're getting down to just a few teams left in the conference, and so it's pretty much the East region and a few others. And East region's just tough in every sport. Snowflake, Blue Ridge, Sholo,
Gotcha.
perennial athletics powerhouses in every sport.
Yeah, that's true. Especially you look at Snowflake, and goodness, it seems like every sport they do really well. And like all the sports.
They do. I just don't like giving them much credit.
I know. It is. I know it's tough because goodness, yeah. When teams are consistently that good, you just get tired of it. It's like, come on, really? Are you serious again?
They're doing something right, and it's up to us to try and close the gap a little bit. And
Yeah.
with at least Snowflake, we have we close the gap with everyone and give a really good run to lots of teams.
So it was interesting because, and I don't want to digress too much, but talking to somebody about the programs and how football. So Snowflake, got moved to 4A in football.
Yeah.
In the 3 years they've been in 4A. Looks like they're going to make it. I mean, they're undefeated, and probably they might not make it to the championship game, but they won the championship last year. We're in the championship game the year before, and this person asked the coaches up there, "What's the deal? What are you guys doing?" And he said, the kids just are out there practicing after practice, weekends, Christmas Day, they got together, Thanksgiving, and they're out there, hey, the coaches aren't instigating it, but the kids getting together and practicing. And he said that's what really set it apart. And did you see maybe just some more commitment from the girls this year that kind of caused the season to be better?
I know Jules gets together with a group of girls every once in a while, and they'll go out and play, and so that's really helping. A lot of it has also come from, so this senior group, the junior group right behind them was the first one that we started with our club program, and so they've been playing since they were in 5th, 6th grade, 6th grade at least with me, and then they've been playing off-season club all the way through at a competitive level down the valley. We went and got beat a lot down there. One of the things I'm a big firm believer in, because it's been my experience, is if you want to win, you're going to have to lose a lot somewhere.
Yeah.
And so we went and we took our losses early so we could win now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I also try and remind them that in practice, that we can lose here to win in the game, or we can play it safe and be easy here and lose in the game later.
Yeah, that's what you see with some of those other teams, like the top teams, the tournaments that they go play in.
Yeah.
They're not playing weaker teams. They're not going to those tournaments so they can just get wins, and crush teams. They're going and usually playing tougher teams, larger schools, and they're losing, but they're getting better in doing that. And they want that tough competition, the best competition, because makes them better. So, and it's understanding that, realizing that, knowing that, it's important. So, Jules, so you get together with some of the other girls on the team and practice or just play?
Yeah, we practice on what like we think we need,
Mm-hmm.
and like sometimes just scrimmaging, like we'll pick up game, which is fun.
Mm-hmm. So I like what you said, you practice on the things you think you need. So that must mean that, you know, coach or someone is saying, hey, we noticed that maybe you need to work on this, or, you know, practice a little more on this, instead of getting upset about it or saying, no, that's whack, you don't know what you're talking about. You're like, sorry, my attempt at trying to be cool, but you're like, hey, you know what, yeah, let's work on that. And you kind of accept that and take that in because you want to make yourselves better.
Yeah, like there's always something you gotta work on, like even though like it's just fun, like
Mhm.
you can always learn tricks or
Mhm.
like I don't know, just playing with other people you learn more.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. So were you part of the like club team or group that went down to the valley and
Yeah.
played? So how much do you think did that experience benefit you with this year?
I feel like just getting the rust out, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Like playing in a different field that's not turf all the time,
Mm-hmm.
and then playing in different like temperatures and
Mm-hmm.
like heat and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, it kind of, in losing, like my
Mhm.
club said,
Yeah.
it just kind of like shaped us in the way we could be for this year.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, getting the rust out, that's a good point because that was over the summer, right, that you did that? So wow, if you're down in the valley hot, so playing in the heat, that's has to help with conditioning. Or, you know, when you're playing up here and it's maybe 90 degrees, you're like, this is nothing. Because,
We had that in the Blue Ridge game. They came here,
Yeah.
and we had that heat wave over the fall, and
oh
the
yeah,
coach asked for a water break, and I said, I don't really need one.
yeah,
And the ref ended up overruling me, but
Yeah.
their players are complaining because it was high 80s, low 90s, and we're like, no,
Yeah.
it was high 80s, and we're like, no, this is fine.
yeah. Where some of your players haven't played in the valley over the summer, they're like, oh no, we're okay, we're cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when you said, the rust, you know, kind of getting the rust off, it must be a lot better, you know, after you play in the summer and then you're coming into the season, and instead of having to shake that rust off, and it takes so many games or so many weeks to kind of, you know, get in gear, you're already going. You're already like conditioned and primed and ready to go. So you go into the season, like I would imagine, you know, at an advantage, or at least if these other teams aren't doing that, you have an advantage.
Yeah. We saw that especially in the beginning of the year. We went into the tournament really strong because we had all the games we played over the summer.
Mm-hmm.
We were playing games almost every week over the summer, and then
Wow.
we started off really strong. Snowflake still looked like they were asleep when we played them,
Huh.
and by the end of the season, Snowflake had woken up and were a different animal, and that game was a lot tougher than when we played them in the tournament.
Gotcha.
Same with St. John's. We played them before they played. Might have played 1 or 2 games over the summer.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have a tournament, and we really controlled the game really well, and then we still controlled the game really well right there at the end of the season, but we just couldn't quite break them down. They were a lot more disciplined than they were in the beginning of the
Gotcha.
season.
Mm-hmm.
So it was tougher. The teams get tougher as the season goes, and we kind of started tough and gradually got a little bit tougher.
Mm. Yeah, I think I noticed that across all sports, really, that in the beginning of the season, kind of teams, I don't know, feeling things out a little bit,
Yeah.
you know, but then towards the end of the season, the teams that have, you know, pretty solid players or really good players, they're kind of bringing things together, and then, you know, they're a different team than in the beginning of the season.
We started out of the blocks really strong. We knew where we wanted to play everyone, and then people slowly caught up to us little by little
Mm-hmm.
as the season went.
Gotcha. Huh, so that's good. So you're a senior, Jules?
Yeah.
So do you have plans, or you know what you're gonna be doing after school?
Well, I do want to continue playing soccer in some way,
Nice.
but I haven't figured that out yet. But
Uh-huh. And how long have you been playing soccer?
like, I actually got on a town team when I was in 5th grade,
Oh, okay.
but I played way before, but I was just too scared to go onto the team.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
So you were nervous about it, or just kind of, yeah?
Yeah, and then after a bit, I just like, oh, I can just do this again. You know?
It takes her a little while to build the confidence to realize how good she is.
Mm-hmm. And what position do you play?
I played left mid.
Left
or
mid.
like right, but
Okay.
they just switch me around.
Okay. And mid is kind of a little bit of both defense and offense?
Yeah, they're the workhorses on the team. They have to help attack, so they have to get all the way up the field. We call them box to box because they go from one end of the field all the way to the other to help.
Yeah.
And it wasn't too uncommon to see Jules going back and saving one of the defenders that couldn't quite get back fast enough and
Oh, wow.
getting all the way back to goal and then going right back to shoot on
Mhm.
goal on the other side afterwards.
Wow.
They have to play really fast, lots of passing.
Uh-huh.
They don't get a whole lot of space because everyone's around them.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. So you got some wheels?
I mean, I really hope so. I think I do.
We've tried talking her into track, but she needs a ball to chase.
I was thinking about that too. I was going to ask if you do track as well, but
I tried hard for the last few years.
yeah, but it's different when you're chasing a soccer ball, huh?
It's like a little different mindset.
Uh-huh.
It's like, instead of like looking at a line and running,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like looking at a ball and running because you don't know where you're going. You're
yeah,
just looking at the ball.
yeah. There you go. So you're focused on that, huh?
Yeah.
You play basketball?
I played for 1 year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How'd you like that?
It was pretty good. I
Yeah.
think it helped me. I think I did it for, like, the help for soccer kind of, because I learned a lot from basketball, and
Uh-huh.
I just switched it over to soccer.
Yeah. There are some similarities, aren't there?
Yeah.
As far as especially fast breaks, where
Yeah.
you're in your lanes and yeah. So-
Soccer, hockey, and basketball have a lot of crossover with you're attacking a central goal,
Mhm.
penetrating sports as we call them.
Gotcha.
Lots
Yeah.
of movement.
Yeah.
Basketball players also make really good defenders.
Gotcha. So how many seniors were on your team this year?
5, I think.
5 on the field, and we also had our manager, Faith, was helping us too.
Yeah.
As a senior.
Gotcha. So you have 5 players that are done now, and
Yeah.
they have a lot of. Do you have a lot of underclassmen that were
We
playing?
have, yeah, I don't know exactly how big all the programs are, but I think if we didn't have the biggest, we had one of the biggest programs in the conference. So we've got a lot of kids coming up to fill in the gaps right behind them.
Nice.
So we've got 10 juniors coming up behind the seniors right now.
That junior class, what the heck? I mean, everyone decided to have kids, I guess, right around the same time, and that junior class is
I
just.
think they missed the
crazy.
memo about normal distributions.
Yeah, they didn't get that one, huh?
Yeah.
No, I think that's with all the programs, so next year, when
Yeah.
those juniors or seniors, senior nights for soccer, for all of the sports,
Yeah.
they're gonna be extra long.
It's gonna be, we're gonna have to figure something out for senior night next year.
Uh-huh,
It's
because there's so many.
gonna be, we're gonna have to do things a little different.
I think that's what all the programs are saying, you're like, oh boy, yeah. So you would like to continue to play soccer then?
Yeah.
Have you looked into that at all, or like different colleges?
Well,
or
I looked
different
at
schools?
MCC.
Oh,
like,
okay.
I had a little tour of that.
Okay.
And Clough's like, I want to track, or what was it, cross country? He went to track.
Oh,
think,
I ran track or cross country at MCC right
Oh,
after
okay.
high school.
And that's Mesa Community
Yeah,
College?
Mesa Community College.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Uh-huh. So, yeah, that's, and the community colleges down there, I don't know about all of them, but a lot of them do have sports programs, don't they?
Yeah, there's quite a big program for girls soccer, lots of schools in that.
Mm-hmm.
I looked up a bunch for our athletes and to invite them to come watch at our tournament, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, there's quite a few opportunities for girls to go and keep playing.
Mm-hmm. What is the season down there for?
Same time as ours.
Oh, it is, it's a fall?
Fall soccer's the most common season to have across the country.
Gotcha. Yeah, I would imagine winter obviously in some places here it would be hard, and
There's
we're
only
up
a few
north.
states that insist on having soccer in the winter. Florida,
California?
California does it in the winter.
Yeah.
Arizona does winter. There's just a few.
Yeah, and I can see in the valley, I can see why, because even fall, it's, still kind of hot down
I'm
there.
starting to get into my soapbox. Fall club soccer does fall soccer just fine. AIA just is stuck on winter for some reason.
Gotcha.
So
And now, and there's other, do all the, high school sports associations, because there's other ones too, it's not just AIA, but are they fall, or
there's a
winter as well?
national sports association, and then every state has their own.
Mhm.
And most of them do soccer in the fall. That's the majority of them do fall soccer, and some do
Gotcha.
winter, and very few do spring.
Yeah, I'd imagine, yeah, because spring, competing softball, baseball.
Usually
imagine
track.
there's track as well. Oh, wow. Yeah, to have soccer at the same time as track, because I'd imagine a lot of soccer players probably participate in track too.
It depends on the school, depends
Yeah.
on the state. It's not uncommon, but it's not super common either.
Mm-hmm.
There's some good crossover there.
Gotcha. Yeah, because with all the running, I imagine it would be, could really benefit players.
Does a bit.
Yeah.
Where I ran in college, one of our top miler was a former soccer player.
Gotcha.
He was quick.
Yeah, a quick miler. Yeah, some of the times, I imagine, goodness, in college, they're running some real crazy times, huh?
He was fast.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. So, so that's what you're hoping to do, maybe get on with one of the schools down in the valley?
Yeah.
And continue to play soccer?
See where this goes.
Right, nice. So what is, you said you started in 5th grade, playing with the town league. Like what drew you to soccer? Why did you start playing? What do you enjoy about it?
I don't know, my brother did baseball,
Mhm.
and I don't know, like, I'd help him practice, but I know he almost took some teeth out, so. I
Oh,
was like,
you're like,
I
I'm
was like,
staying
maybe
away from that.
I was like, maybe I don't want to do this one. But I was thinking, like, maybe what if I play with my feet? And my dad used to play, so he started teaching me.
Oh, okay. So did your dad play in high school or?
He lived in Mexico, so he just played, like, with his friends and stuff. He
Mm-hmm.
probably did a team, but
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably have to talk to him more about it and see.
Gotcha. So now, are you better than your dad?
I mean, I hope so. But I feel like he'd get mad at me if
Does he go out there and play with you sometimes?
sometimes he's
Yeah.
like, you just gotta do this, and I'm like, how do I do that? And
Come
he's
on,
like,
show me,
he's
show
like
me.
a big man, so
Oh,
like,
yeah?
I'm like, how are you not scared of the ball hitting you? He's like a wall. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I gotta what's the word? You gotta like box them out. How they say in basketball?
Yeah, box out, yeah.
You gotta,
Shield.
like, you gotta shield. And
Oh,
I'm like
shield,
over here
okay.
shielding this big man.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not real, you're not real big, Jules, so,
Yeah.
yeah, that's, if you're trying to body, your daddy's a bigger guy, yeah.
Yeah, he was showing me little tips on how to body other girls, so I was like,
Gotcha.
yeah, we got that.
Yeah, all those little tips probably help because, for people that, and I wasn't a big fan of soccer. I played basketball, so, and when I would look at a soccer field and have to play in high school, when we would do it, I'm like, dang, that's a lot of running. That field's just too big. It's like a court,
Yeah.
not running that much. But the physicality, there is a certain level of physicality with soccer. And so understanding, and your balance and, those little tips, where to push, how to
Yeah.
lean, that makes a big difference, doesn't it?
It does, and it definitely got us this year. As we got toward the end of the season, some of the teams got really physical. And I'd ask the refs, like, hey, that foul? And they're like, no, it's a physical game. I'm just like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the refs did good. They were consistent, but sometimes we disagreed on how hard a hit was still a foul.
Yeah.
But they're definitely, I think that's one place we can improve on a little bit. We like to dance a little bit. We might need to learn how to hit a little bit more on duels.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you about that as far as drills and practicing that, because footwork obviously is the main focus.
Yeah.
Footwork, passing, ball control, positioning, all of that. But the physical part, I would imagine if you're not practicing that or you don't know some of those things, then when you get into a game and the team is more physical and the refs
Yeah.
are kind of letting that go, you can be at a disadvantage. right?
It got us a little bit, and I think the biggest thing for us is that once we get hit a few times, it starts getting in our head. So we got to get used to getting hit. And it's not, never played football. I don't know how to, it's not something I train normally because, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not something I think about like, hey, we need to learn how to hit people. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
one of those coaching things I'm going to take away from the summer and see if there's, because I've always just kind of let it happen naturally. Like some girls really know how to use their body to protect the ball and themselves, and some just kind of get pushed around, and so we do need to find a way to fix that for next season.
Yeah, and I imagine like the technique where pushing, if you're pushing with your arms, then
That's
you
foul.
know that's a foul. But with the lower body, if you're
Or
pushing
with
with
your
your
shoulder.
hips or your,
As
gotcha.
long as you keep your arm down, you can use your shoulder too
Oh, okay.
if you're playing for the ball. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's like similar to basketball. I remember, you know, when I was younger, and we had a coach that he felt like basketball is more of a finesse sport, and
Yeah.
you shouldn't be, you know, pushing. And when there's contact, it's almost any time there's contact, you know, is going to be a foul. But that kind of changed into the 80s and 90s, and it became a more physical game. And you know, and there was also always some part, you know, boxing out. You know, when you're boxing out, or the shielding, there's the contact. But it just seemed like it became more and more physical, and I guess I was used to it, or my friends and I, because we would always play, you know, on the playground or at each other's homes, and you're, you know, pushing each other. Even when it would snow, we'd have a game where we'd just shovel off all the snow on the court, but if the ball went in the snow, you could tackle each other. So we would just, you know.
New rules.
Yeah, you know, almost, but yeah, so, you know, you're used to getting hit. You're used to, you know, shooting while getting hit, being a little more physical. Obviously, you didn't play like that when, you know, it was game time.
Yeah.
But if you had that contact, you were a little more used to it.
Yeah, getting used to it as you go.
Yeah.
I was always confused. I wrestled, so whenever I go and play basketball, everyone called fouls, and I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
How does everyone come away with a bloody nose from a non-contact sport? How come I always get fouls called?
Yeah.
I still don't get it.
One of our good friends, Chris Butler, he was a wrestler, and yep, that's how it always was with him. We were always, getting, and in the snow, he'd always like put this move on us, you know, flip us around, and like, come on now, that's not fair.
Wrong sport.
Yeah. Now, so, did you notice this year, Jules, like your play, were you a little more physical this year, or did you notice a change there?
Yeah, if I look back to my freshman year, I definitely got a bit more physical.
Gotcha.
Like learning how to do, like use my hips and like, my shoulders and stuff like that. There's times where I did get pushed around, but I was like, it's whatever. You know, I can still push them around.
Yeah, because it's not about size always, but about leverage. You know, leverage and knowing how to push, and if you have somebody that's bigger, that you can use that against them, and then they can be pushing. And if you're not there, then
I think one of the biggest things with Jules and the rest of the seniors is, along with their physical presence on the field, they also had their confidence brought, I don't know what kind of presence you want to call that, but even when we were down in games, like we were just one where we were down a lot more than I ever wanted to be. And I remember I said Jules for a second. I said, "Hey, how's it going on the field? Do we need to mix things up, or is everyone still in?" She's like, "Yeah, we've got this still, coach." And we did. We pulled out an amazing comeback and ended up winning 5-4 in that one.
What game was that?
That was against Blue Ridge at home.
Oh wow.
I think the seniors were just so supremely confident, and the rest of the team was so confident. They were like, "Oh, they can score as many as they want. We want to put a show on for the town because so many people came out to watch us."
So, how did that? What was the score? Was it 5-4? It ended up, but did Blue Ridge? How much did they go up by?
They were up 4-2 at one
4-2.
point.
Wow.
It was like halftime. And
Yeah.
then we came back into halftime, and then it was like 3-4.
4-4, tied it up.
Yeah, we kept going up.
Wow. That sounds like, boy, you and the boys soccer team both did Blue Ridge dirty this year like that.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
The boys pulled out a spectacular game against Blue Ridge too.
Because they were down 3-0 at half. Yeah. and ended up winning that one 4-3.
Yeah, I was
So-
really worried we'd be going to overtime as well, kind of like the boys did.
Uh-huh.
But then we had I don't want to say it was a surprise goal, but she's kind of made a habit of these goals. Little CJ Audi, one of our sophomores, was in, and she's left-footed, and she put an amazing goal in from the left side and scored her game winner and kept us from overtime, thankfully. But yeah, it was an exciting game.
Do you have many lefties, you know, in
We've got
soccer?
two
You
on
have
our two natural on our team,
Okay.
and then we've got several that are learning to hit the ball well enough with their left feet that they're. We've got 3 or 4 that are coming along that can use their left foot efficiently.
Yeah.
They're getting pretty much where it's not much of a difference now.
How about you, Jules? Were you
She was
right?
one of them.
Or are you using
Yeah,
both?
I'm right-footed, but then I ended up spraining my right foot.
Oh.
And then so I was like, I gotta use my left. That's where I had to like learn. And
Yeah.
then now my right foot is healed, so I just like, I can still use my left.
Yeah. So I know.
That's why we played her on the left so much. She
Yeah.
had a good left foot.
Yeah. Similar to basketball, where you use your offhand, and you know, the stronger you are with your offhand, the bigger a threat you are. And so imagine the same with soccer, huh? If you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of defenders think if they just put you on your left foot, you're fine. They're safe because you
They
can't
play
shoot
you
your
that
left.
way. Yeah.
And
So they give
we
you
definitely
that.
do that with a lot of players that we
Uh-huh.
know. We keep track. There's usually only 1 or 2 players on each team that can play with their left foot, and so
Gotcha.
we consistently try and put them on that left foot because we know they can't shoot or
Mhm.
pass on that left. And the
Mhm.
ones that can, we have to be extra careful with.
How much watching film? Did you watch a lot of film, or is that a big part of it?
Yeah,
game?
he would make us come into his classroom
Mhm.
and then watch film and then like study every little movement we did.
Gotcha.
But also like when we were in class, he'd get mad because we're like getting in trouble. And
Well, listen.
but he didn't want us to do that during class.
Uh-huh.
But it was like we finished our work and we watched film.
Mhm.
That was always like the day after game day. Like we just watch film and see what we did wrong.
Mhm.
And then when we go into film with Clough, it's like, oh, I saw that, I did this. What do I
Mhm.
do next time? Or like, so
Gotcha.
that we did this, what can we do? Like, you know,
Yeah.
he's continued.
Yeah, it kind of, that goes back to what you said in the beginning of the program. Your practice time, you know, in the park with other
Yeah.
teammates, and practicing on the things that you knew, where you were a little deficient, or you needed work in this
Yeah.
area, or hey, I want to be stronger with my off foot, my left foot, or, you know, my shielding, or whatever it is. So that's what you're working on.
Film's been really big for us. In the beginning, I could tell automatically which games were going to get the most watches because the girls just wanted to go see their highlights and the really good fights, which is good.
Yeah.
I liked it. They were watching. But then slowly, it's been good to see the evolution and maturity of the seniors, especially in some of the others, because they'd start saying, Coach, I saw something in this and I'm not quite sure what to do, or they'd point out like, Coach, I think we missed something here, and they became more students of the game and analyzing and seeing some of the tactics
Mhm.
and how it worked.
That's funny, yeah, the, just wanting to see the highlights at first, you're like,
Everyone-
oh, yeah.
Yeah, we still like watching our highlights.
Yeah, yeah.
We usually start or end our film with highlights just to leave us on a good high and remind us that we're
Yeah.
playing well.
Yeah,
And it's fun to watch and it's pretty.
yeah, but I think you mentioned this, where you don't learn off of that. It's like you don't
You learn
learn
from
as
your
much
mistakes,
off your victories. You win 7-0 or whatever.
Yeah.
You're not gonna learn as much as if you lose a game 3-0 or a close one, or where you can go back and say, okay, what could we have done differently to produce a different outcome?
Yeah.
Yeah, to get the victory. So, well, cool. Well, it's 10:30. Hey, half an hour, talking about girls soccer here, and again, just a great year for the program. Players did awesome, and the team, you guys did great.
Yeah.
And hopefully next year, just keep getting better and better.
We should have, I like to think we're coming into I know Payson Soccer's had a long history, and unfortunately lots of that didn't get in the record books, but we had a lot of records this season.
Wow.
I believe, looking back at what stats I can access, so.
Yeah.
I think we scored more goals than Payson ever has in a season. I think we had an all-time season high goal scorer.
Wow. Yeah, I was
So
looking.
highest ranking.
looking at the schedule, I mean, there were some games, 6, 7 goals, right? I mean, yeah.
We were too shy of 100 goals for the season.
Too shy. And how many
For the
games?
season. 19 games.
Wow.
So we're averaging almost five
Yeah.
goals a game, and the highest I could find in the history
Wow.
books before this season was somewhere around 30 or 40.
What?
So
I mean, that's crushing, like annihilating that.
I think Hannah Sarnowski, one of our other seniors alone, scored almost as many goals as the entire team has since 2006.
Hannah, she's got some wheels. I know, because she plays basketball. Yeah, she's got like a motor. She just has like boom, 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 go, go.
She was a never say die. So those seniors are really good, and they've been through we went through a lot of rough patches. Just on that senior class again, we went from beating only 2 teams their freshman year to only getting beat by 2 teams this year with them.
Wow.
So it was a complete turnaround if you look at the records.
Yeah, and that's that really shows a commitment by the players, by
Mhm.
Jules and the other players, by you
Yeah.
as a coach. And I mean, committed to the team and the film and helping, any way you can and showing them, the team, how they can improve and the players, okay, this is what we need to work on. And you guys being receptive to it as well.
Yeah.
So, man, that's impressive. That's
It's been
really
a lot of
cool.
hard work and a lot of commitment from the ladies. They've done
Yeah.
a lot.
And that has to make you feel good too, coming in and, freshmen, instead of only winning a couple games. And to now only losing a couple games during the entire
'Cause
season.
there were close games too. Like one we lost in the last minute of overtime. One of those losses. So it was
on mine.
it was rough.
just
Coach
like
made
an
a
off
call.
and then-
Coach made a call. Ref made a call. It's just the way things go sometimes.
Yeah. Sometimes there's only so much you can do, huh?
Yeah.
Out there and, because of calls or something else. Yeah, so,
It's a good life lesson. You control what you can, and
yeah.
the world does what it does.
There you go. Well, hey, thank you so much for coming on this morning and sharing. And good luck with whatever you do, and hopefully get an opportunity to play soccer down in the valley at one of the schools down there. That'd be great. Sure, Coach Clough would love to come watch you.
I
Watch some
definitely-
games down there.
He's one of my favorite ones to watch.
Cool.
She
I
makes
can
the game
always,
beautiful.
make him clap his hands, either happy or
It's like, ugh!
She probably has a 2 different classes too.
That's, get a reaction out of you. Yeah.
Yeah, just when I know she can do a little better.
Yeah. Well, hey, thank you again, and you guys, thank you for, a great season. I know everyone loves, seeing our teams, our high school teams do well, and it was amazing. All of the teams making the playoffs, all of our fall teams. So
Good.
that really, again, it shows the dedication and commitment by all of our athletes and coaches. So, thank you guys. All right, well, thank you everyone also for listening and watching this morning. Hope you guys have an awesome Friday, a great weekend. Also, just a reminder, going to be down at ALA Ironwood for football playoff games, so hopefully you can tune in to watch that. You can watch it on the KRIM Facebook page or our YouTube channel, KRIM 96.3 FM. So it's time to get back to the music now with some Elton John, ZZ Top, Rush, and more. But first, let's get a quick update from the National Weather Service.
With this morning's Gatorade weather,
Here we go. All right.
Thank you, Chris.
All right. Hey, thank you guys.